The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good. How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Edge. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico de Haan and Paige Clarke.
Good morning. I'm Paige Clarke, and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle. And this is where we explore a return to more balanced, natural, and wild world.
Yeah, so we cover our natural health and regain our rights and freedoms, and I'm Nico de Haan.
It's a beautiful day here, perfect weather, 60 degrees, and we hope you're having nice weather where you are. Please subscribe to our Health Signals newsletter. Good stuff, news you can use in your inbox twice a month, $10 a month. You can even use Tiger's dollars.
Yeah, and I got the first one coming out next week for the year, so jump on board for folks. It's $10 a month, 2 issues a month. Also, of course, please pick up our Primal Edge. The number here is 877-927-6648, but, if we're not on the air, you can always reach us at TFNN at TFNN.com, Nico or Paige at TFNN.com.
That's right.
So
that's right. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, you can suggest things for the show. You can ask questions or just say hi.
That's exactly right. Well, here we are. This is the last show of the year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And we've been talking a little bit, on Tuesday we talked a little bit of how we got doing this and some of our memories of the show. But, today is actually, this time frame, this week, is where we're celebrating the first days of winter.
Really, the first day of winter was the 21st?
That's
or
right.
The 20th or the 21st?
The winter solstice, which is where the sun is crucified in the Southern Cross for 3 days, and then it rises again.
Right.
And, boy, let's say hi to that polar bear. He looks cute, doesn't he?
He's pretty cool, isn't he?
He's cute. Hey there, cute little guy. But really, the decline in the energy output of the sun is extremely rapid at this point, offering us Earthlings a grand solar minimum that will increase a lot more than cases of frostbite. This comes to us from Dr. Circus. He's a brilliant holistic doctor living in the forests of Brazil's prolific writer, very brilliant, and I enjoy subscribing to his news. And I'm so glad to see that he is awake and aware of the truth about climate change, and that, in fact, what we are experiencing is cooling, leaving a warming period for cooling. And we need to pay attention to it.
Yeah, he says here that we are in for global cooling and not warming, and this is really bad news, for cold weather is about 20 times as deadly as hot weather.
But this is interesting what he said. He said, Donald Trump is getting set to drop climate change as a national security threat, kind of as part of his new national security strategy. But Dr. Circus says he is not really thinking straight because global cooling is more dangerous than warming. And I think that what Dr. Circus is saying is that, as you're watching your boob tube, they're just telling you all this stuff about the fact that we have a warming and that humans are killing the planet, and by breathing we're destroying ecosystems, when in fact there's a big wave coming, and it's a cold wave. And what's going to happen is a lot of people are not going to be prepared because they've been thinking the former when it's really the latter.
Yeah, and we're really in the last year of the maximum. Beginning next year, or maybe the year after, is where we start declining, and it's already been declining. Because if you look at the...
Yeah, he even says global cooling, not warming, is really bad news because global cooling is 20 times more deadly than hot weather.
Correct. Exactly. So the sun is dimming, and here he has a chart. It's not really a chart, but just a list of some of the days in the year. Now, in 2017, we had 101 days, or 28% of spotless days. These talking about the sunspots.
Right.
Sunspots is what charges the sun to send us electricity, which charges our atmosphere, which gives us
Which
a nice
means we're
buffer.
getting less charge, less solar activity,
Right.
which creates more volcanism and weather conditions. And gentleman Martin Armstrong just published the dangers from the global warming crowd is that they are misleading the entire world and preventing us from what is dangerously unfolding that sparks the rapid decline in civilization, and that is global cooling. And if we were really conscious, we would be running to the store to buy heating pads. This year will be a much colder for Europe than the last 3. It will also be cold in the USA, and we are in a global cooling period, and all the data we have in our computer systems warns us that the Earth is cooling, not warming. So now wake up and smell the coffee, everybody.
Yeah, and our sun's activity is projected to fall 60% in the 2030s. So looking at the whole thing, they're thinking maybe 30, maybe 50, maybe even 100 years of very cold weather.
Yeah,
that's the projection. Of course, we
Here's
really
what
don't
we're
know.
hearing, because we pay attention to David Dubine of Adapt 2030. This cooling is very serious. This decline in the energy output of the sun will manifest in a commodity boom in agriculture as shortages send foods prices soaring higher,
yeah.
just exactly what Dave has been telling us. We will see famine begin to rise as crops fail, and that will inspire disease and plagues. I mean, we're not trying to spread bad news, but we just want you all to
Be prepared.
Be prepared. And some of you guys that are traders, I'm sure you're probably starting to be aware of this. And when Nico and I are talking about from a health standpoint, the global cooling, you guys from a trading standpoint know a lot more than we do about that. I think you might want to be paying
And some
close
of the health
attention to
risks
that.
really are, of course, if there's not as much sunlight, then we really do have a problem getting the vitamin D, especially in the northern climates. And we're primarily talking about North America and Europe being hit.
Did you see the snow that we showed? Or the snow?
Yeah.
You guys were here on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But
There's one picture here, I think, of a cow in the snow. I don't know where this is, but
and look at that. No, let's go on because I'm losing you. Hold on one second. Yeah, that's, I think, Mexico. Can you believe it? This David Diley, the CEO of Global Weather Oscillations, believes winter will only become more intense in the UK due to the combination of dangerous climate factors. And we're heading into this great cooling. It's getting cooler, and real scientists are paying attention to astrophysicists who are telling us that solar activity is diminishing. We've been talking about this forever.
we sure have.
Hey, guys, the gamma ray penetration is increasing because of the lower solar wind, which increases cloud formation, more intense cooling, more volcanic activity yielding even more cooling, increased air traffic that increases cooling. We are even having geoengineering that is man-made cooling with the excuse of warding off the warming. That is not happening.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's slated to be maybe a 35-year period of low solar activity that ushers in this ice age. Back in the 1600s, they called it the Little Ice Age, which really lasted about 200 years, all the way in the 1800s.
But we think that our ice age now is going to be an even more severe one than the 1600s. Is that the possibility?
Well, that's
It may
certainly
be
a possibility. We don't know. We haven't been through anything like this, and there's really not a lot of records except for the sunspot records and then some of the old newspapers that you can dig up. And some of the history books that talk about the Dark Ages, that talk about the 1600s, that talk about the early 1800s, and all real cold weather. A lot of times, even in Texas and things like that, you'll have snow in the summertime. So it can be drastic. We just want you to open your eyes and do some of this research
take
yourself.
a picture. The Mexican news shows some scenes of highways in many states looking like a snowpocalypse. And there's our little cow sitting there hanging out in the snow.
We'll be right back, folks. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated folic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, Life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Well, as we talked about, we're entering a period of global cooling.
It's certainly that way up north.
That's right. It's cold, but there's some good things about being in the cold. Does exercise burn more calories in the cold than in warm weather? Well, guess what, guys?
Well, of course it does, because first of all, it takes more energy to warm your body, so just that alone probably is
It sure does. It
boost
burns more calories than in warm temperatures because it makes it easier to lose weight. And specifically, people who hiked in the temperatures ranging from 15 to 23 degrees, they burn 34% more calories than people who hiked in temperatures in the mid-50s, according to a recent study. So maybe it's a great idea in the winter to make sure you make a trip to the cold.
Even I remember when I was doing my running craze, just going for a run in cool weather, really cold weather. You put a little bit on, you have your gloves on and socks, but not a lot else. You're still in your running clothes, but you warm up really fast and it feels really good. And some of my fondest memories have been going out knowing it's going to rain on my way back.
Yes.
So you're all hot and sweaty.
You're hot and sweaty, you know you're going to get
and you're getting that cool rain, and everybody thinks you're nuts running in the rain, but it actually is good. But yeah, exercise definitely, it does increase the burn of calories, especially if you're a fat burner already.
Right, and so let's tell you a little bit more. Cold is much more metabolically expensive, said Kara Achenbach of the University of Albany, who did this Wyoming study. You have to burn more calories through what's called thermogenesis just to keep the body warm. So a hint to dieters, bundle up less. You'll burn more calories than if you're engulfed into goose down and wool. The men in the outdoor school burned an average of 3,822 calories per day while hiking in the mountains during the spring, and they burned up to almost 5,000 calories per day in winter. For women, it was 3,000 in the spring and 3,800 in the winter. So maybe living in these colder climates, or where most likely we're going to all be living in colder climates, this may actually help us to become the fat burners that we really need to be.
Well, another thing, too, is if you just lower the temperature in your room while you're sleeping, that your body automatically kicks in to keep you warm, and therefore you're burning more calories in a cooler area just sleeping if you're a fat burner.
This is interesting. It says, although exercise alone is an almost impossible way to lose weight because most people who exercise more use it as an excuse to eat more, many of the outdoor school participants in that study did shed pounds. In cold weather, they burned 2,000 more calories per day than they consumed on average, compared to 1,000 calories in warm weather, which led to weight loss. So
Important stuff.
So it might seem like an invitation to be a couch potato in warm weather and schedule a year's worth of outdoor activities for winter,
Yep.
like going snow skiing and seeing my son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, one thing, too, this year, I've often thought about going to New York to watch the ball drop for New Year's Eve. And they say this year is going to be very cold there. But I thought it'd be interesting to go around the world, kind of, to see what other people do. I don't know, have you done special things on New Year's? We tend to stay home.
I tend to stay home too more. I do. I actually prefer to kind of hunker in. I'm not real crazy. You know, when I was younger, I used to like to go out more often, but I kind of enjoy being home. But of course, this year, I've got a little different scenario.
Yes.
I'm going to be having play at a Carmen, Mexico. And very
cool.
casual. The whole goal is just to chill out and...
Talk to Jack Cruz, right?
Exactly. I'm going to be with Jack Cruz. You guys know we talk about Dr. Jack Cruz and a lot of his ideas on healing, water, magnesium, magnetism and hydration, and how important sunlight and the quantum healing is really what it's all about.
Yep.
So we're going to be hanging out with him in a very casual environment, but all of us just really absorbing some radiation. So hopefully I'll come home with a nice tan.
Yeah, so what they do in Holland, especially in Amsterdam, really is walking. People love to walk, and there's nothing like walking and strolling along the canals in Amsterdam, and that's one of the things there. But they have this one place called the Skinny Bridge. It's the best of view Amsterdam's most romantic bridge. It's called the Skinny Bridge in Holland at night when it's beautiful, and later on, of course, you have a great location to
For
see
viewing the fireworks, right.
Yeah. Another thing to do is there's a free ferry from Amsterdam Central Station to the Amsterdam North, which is like a micro cruise with great views, glittering lights, and it's just a lot of fun to do little cruises and things like that for New Year's Eve.
Right, and they say there's fireworks, of course, all over the city, and you can see it from all over the street. So it sounds like Amsterdam would be a wonderful place
Well,
to...
one other thing in Holland that is only Holland has, and that's the oliebollen. And the oliebollen is basically a raisin-filled, kind of like a donut, but it's not a donut. It's a kind of heavy type of wheat. I don't know exactly what to call it, but it's yeah, I guess a donut is, but doesn't taste anything like a donut. It has its own unique taste, and it's deep fried, and then it's a ball, and there's raisins and croissants in it, and then you dip it in this white sugar, that little white
How
stuff.
do all these Europeans eat all these...
Because most of the time they eat pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
I have one of my jiu-jitsu buddies that stayed in Holland for a couple of years, and when he came back here, he says, I can't find any clean food. In Holland, everything is from Holland, and everything there is fresh, and everything there is grass-fed. He was just astounded how a little
Yeah.
country like that
And
just
that's
makes
exactly true, because they don't allow the crazy Franken foods that we allow here. How about Aspen?
Yep.
If you've thought about it, I've often heard people love to be in Aspen every year for 2 weeks at the end of December during Aspen's winter high season. The small mountain town of Aspen, Colorado swells from a population of only 6,600 people to 27,000 people,
It's pretty busy.
covering its mere 5-block downtown.
Yeah.
Many come here for the swank parties. A lot of celebrities go to Aspen.
Yep.
I had a friend she was in that circle, and that's where she spent her.
Yeah, and there's a free outdoor party there at Wagner Park that has a bonfire, a DJ, and all kinds of fireworks. One at 8 o'clock, and I think one at midnight.
A lot of people go to Snowmass.
Yeah.
I've been to Snowmass before, and they celebrate New Year's Eve with a torchlit parade at 5:45, followed by fireworks and musical entertainment. And then a lot of people will party at the St. Regis Aspen Resort. Some might watch the fireworks up at Smuggler's Mountain.
Smuggler's Mountains.
And
Yeah.
it is a beautiful outdoor wonderland there in Aspen.
Yeah, there's a place called Aspen Recreation Center where they have a show that starts about 9 o'clock, and they have on New Year's Eve and New Year's Eve Day. It's a very popular spot to go. And, of course, they have things like the art museum that's there that's very popular. And, of course, skiing.
Of
You go to
course.
Aspen, you're going to go skiing for sure.
Of course. Well, how about Hotlanta? Atlanta might be a fun place. Well, first of all, I say Atlanta is one of the cities of beautiful people. I used to live there, and you know, as soon as you land in Atlanta, everyone's like, "How you doing?"
Yeah.
They're just friendly, attractive, happy, positive people. That's my experience. And you don't have to spend a pretty penny to have a great time, a peachy time, as the article says.
Yeah, well, because of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl Parade. And also they have this thing at the Stone Mountain, which is just north of there, which they watch the sunset from Stone Mountain. That's a regular thing, and there's a beautiful panoramic view of the sunset.
Oh, very nice.
And it's just $15 for the pass there. So these are inexpensive things like that.
Well, there's also a great place called Bar Margot, a groovy midtown watering hole named after Gwyneth Paltrow's character from the Royal Tenenbaums. Welcomes walk-up guests with no cover on New Year's Eve. So you can kind of hang out with Atlanta hipsters and have a great time. And we could go on. Maybe let's come back and talk about some other fun things to do in other cities.
There's a bunch of other things.
What are you guys doing for New Year's Eve? If you're on the chat room, give us some ideas of where you're going to be. We'll
Probably
be right back
just
after
trading,
this break.
huh? We'll be back.
Would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back. You know, the holiday time, especially this time of year, can be expensive. You're buying gifts, a lot of things going on, but there's a lot of things that you can do that really don't cost a lot of money. And in Chicago, they have 4 free things to do in Chicago
Nice.
at this time of year. So the first thing is?
Chi Town Rising. It's the newest festival for New Year's Eve. It hosts a family-free event from 3 to 6 p.m. in Wrigley Square, and it brings families to New Year's celebration around the world through activities stations designed around each culture.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
That is really cool.
Yeah, the main adult party along the Riverwalk charges for admission, but starts out at a free event. And then you find a lookout over Chicago River, and you hear the music, watch the giant star make its way.
Oh, Chi-Town. Okay.
Chi-Town.
I was being corrected. I said Chi-Town.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Chi-Town.
Yeah, Chi-Town.
All right.
Well, that's for Chicago, I think. Chi-Town.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I know,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
looked at it and I said,
Yeah, I thought it was she, too. I was thinking, Anyway, yeah, go down the river. That's good. What's the other one that people watch on
yeah,
the
well,
public
people are,
transport?
people are,
That's
just go people watching on the public transport.
one of
Miller
my
Lite is
favorite things to do.
is once again enacting its free rides this year, offering fare-free trips on the CTA from 10 to 4 a.m., joining in the pre and post parties on the train, and kind of helps residents and tourists alike get home safely after a night of celebrating. So you
Yeah.
could just kind of hang out and watch all the crazy goings
Lot of
on.
fun.
How about seeing the zoo lights?
Yeah, I always enjoyed going to the zoo when I was younger. I have mixed feelings about the zoo animals and things like that. I don't really think animals should be kept in captivity, but they have a lot of nice things that you can see at the zoo, and it's a special day for sure. And the last thing is watching the Navy Pier fireworks.
Right, I'm sure that's great with thousands of people going down there to watch that, and they see more than $20,000 worth of explosives. So be sure to bundle up because I'm sure it's going to be cold out there.
It's going to be cold. I
What
think
about in the big world of Texas? What about
Dallas,
Texas? If you're there, what can you do for New Year's Eve?
Well, Artful Beginnings. It's spend the day exploring more than 23,000 works of art from all around the world in the Dallas Museum of Art. Now, this is a program that's relatively inexpensive. I think it's free.
That's fantastic, and so you can see stuff from all over the world. But, you know, nothing tops getting outdoors. You don't have to wait until January 1st to kick off your New Year's fitness routine. You know, grab your group and burn off those extra holiday calories together at the Caddy Trail, which connects Uptown and Knox Henderson, which are both home to some of Dallas's most happening restaurants and bars. So a lot of people are kind of getting a jump start on that. How about that?
Yeah, and there's window shopping. One of the things that I enjoy in towns is some of the malls. If you go up north, is a lot different than the malls down here. If I go to a mall in Canada, they're selling different things. Their clothes are a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to look around, and so this is something that you could do with the kids, and it's a lot of fun, and a lot of people are doing that.
And then there's other things, holiday extras. Sure, going to a Cotton Bowl may cost you a pretty penny, but some argue that tailgating before is much more fun anyway. So just go hang out with everybody and
Just go
cook out on the
tailgate.
truck. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just go hang out and tailgate. You get a lot of football games going on between now and then. Let's go jump across the pond again. What about a Hamburg, you know? Get over there. After
Germany.
all that holiday shopping, the mere notion of spending more time to celebrate New Year's might cause you to have a panic, but you don't need to break the bank on a fancy party. Here's some things that you might want to do if you're over in Hamburg. You could stroll the St. Pauli Tunnel. This was opened in 1911. It was the first river tunnel on the continent and became a necessity with the growth of the port of Hamburg.
Or you could walk around the Reeperbahn, notorious for its wild nightlife and saucy bordellos and
boisterous bars.
Yeah. It's a great place to people watch, enjoy beers, go dancing, and just wander around and see the crazy people.
Yeah, that's right. You could take a guided tour. There's a free walking tour by Sandman's New Europe, and you can hear pirate tales and learn all about the World War II bombing of Hamburg while you pop by the city's top attractions.
That's right.
It's fun to learn about where you're at. I think it's really interesting. I think we realize we don't, you know, our history tends to get collated to where we are. So I think when we expand it, you know. So there's fireworks going to be.
This is along the waterfront
Along the waterfront,
area.
and
They also have this Christmas market that is really fun to. I mean, I love markets. Strolling through a market, there's nothing better.
lots
All
of
the
arts and
smells
crafts, and you can sip on mulled wine. I love mulled wine. It's kind of a spiced hot wine, or you could take a ride on the historic Ferris wheel for a stunning view of the city. And we could jump back to Houston again. Here's another town that's, they say everything is bigger in Texas, but bigger doesn't have to mean the most expensive. So if you're going to be in Houston, here's some ideas for you. The Square in Sugar Land.
Yes, it's enhanced with state-of-the-art lighting, effects, heart-pumping music, and a vibrant party atmosphere. Make a family-friendly option for all ages. The night is split into 2 parts, so everybody has a chance to celebrate.
Oh, so they have a family-friendly
Yeah, they have the children's,
and then it gets down into the party. I think that's great.
Children's is from 7 to 9, and then after 10 o'clock to 1 a.m., they have the DJ and main stage. They have 3D midnight show with fireworks. Adults-only beverages are available for purchase.
Yeah, and there's going to be some more stuff happening at City Center, and there's going to be a live DJ in the plaza. And also, if you're interested in something with a bit more romance, the Field of Light. Why not get a spark at the Field of Light, a dazzling art installation by English impresario Bruce Monroe. As dusk falls over downtown Houston, the fiber optic is illuminated and the work lives up to its name. And it's going to be along the Brown Promenade each day from dusk until 11 p.m. through February 21st.
Yeah, they also have a Museum of Fine Arts, and they also have a children's museum. So these are 2 good places where you can spend very little money, $10 to get into the children's museum. I think the other one is free. Yeah, free admission to the Museum of Fine Arts. So nothing like going to a fine arts museum.
Well, let's kind of hit on close to home here.
Okay.
How about a Key Westview, okay? A Key West has long been known for its quirky flair, so it should come as no surprise that its New Year's Eve celebration is appropriately off-key. Well, you know, Key West does everything a little off-key, and there are 3 things you can watch drop come midnight: a conch shell, a pirate winch, and a drag performer in a life-size shoe. But before you have to make such a tough decision, there's several free and zany activities. Here's a couple things you can do if you want to come over here to Florida and enjoy a tropical New Year's Eve. They've got
Historic
Keys Foundation. Yeah, this is cemetery.
This is cemetery, yeah. It was founded in 1847 after a hurricane washed out the older cemetery previous years. You don't have any free tours, but the foundation's website features a really good map, very detailed map, so you can find your way around.
Right, and there's also a Florida Keys Eco Discovery.
Right.
You know, this is this helps visitors of all age interpret the rich ecosystem of South Florida on land or sea, and it's really a beautiful living reef exhibit and a mock-up of Aquarius, the only undersea research laboratory in the world. You know,
Great place to visit.
This popped into my mind. I love the Butterfly Museum. I don't even know if it has that on the list, but if you've ever, the Butterfly Museum is such a magical place. I'll add that to my own list here.
Okay, and they have a Key West Wildlife Center, which is really for birds. Lots of birds in there, and there's a nice nature walk through that.
There's this thing called the White Street Pier. Locals joke that this extra-long pier, which goes 1,000 feet into the Atlantic, is an unfinished road to Cuba, a popular fishing spot, and you see lots of just kind of hang out there from sunrise to sunset.
Yeah, you can go to Sloppy Joe's naturally. You can visit.
Great place.
Yeah, all
Hang
kinds
out.
of things to do there. After the break, we'll go back over to Europe.
Okay.
We'll be right
Stay
back,
with
folks.
us.
Stick with us. Pick up some Primal Edge while you're at it, folks. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And welcome back. We're kind of going around the world, and this is a picture on the telestrator of Madrid. I guess it's the town square, but there's a lot of things to do there. Party goers gets all sequenced up, and they're dancing at this place called Teatro Capital, bouncing around on different floors, which offers several styles of music and even one dedicated to karaoke. So you can spend a lot of time there and enjoy the evening. You can hit the
Puerto del Sol, the
Puerto del Sol.
Port of the Sun. It's a simple and no frills, yet fun, and it's no cost. And there's no sparkly ball or ornament production as the new year rolls in. Instead, the crowds form in Puerto del Sol, generally after a pub crawl that starts earlier in the night at the city center of Madrid. So that sounds fun, too. And, you know, what if you want to jump on over to Australia? What's happening in Melbourne? What do they do on New Year's? Each year, the planning starts months in advance, and it's practically mandatory when you're talking about 8 tons of pyrotechnics being set off during a 10-minute interval in perfect synchronicity, with a soundtrack created for the event. Oh, is that Melbourne?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yep.
nice. Oh, that's a beautiful picture.
Sure is.
So the city spends close to $2 million on an elaborate fireworks display to create a spectacle for not only the 500,000 people or so who arrive for the celebration, but also anyone who has a view of the city skyline.
Yeah,
Sounds
they say
good.
you can see it just about from anywhere, so you don't have to go downtown and get the crowds. You can just perch yourself someplace and watch it from every
And of
place.
course, then there's New York City.
That's the real one that you always think of. You go to Times Square, and that's I guess everybody thinks about doing that once in their lifetime, and I've never done that. I love New York.
And
though.
it's pricey after you've had an expensive Christmas, but there are lots of free events in New York City. The Brooklyn Ball, the Brooklynites are excited about their very first New Year's Eve ball. Oh, that's very cool. This huge event is free but requires a ticket for crowd control purposes, and it starts at 6 p.m. at the Grand Army Plaza, and it will fill up with people who can listen to music, munch on food cart fare, and watch the Brooklyn Ball ascend. So that's going to be exciting. Or you might choose to ride the ferry in New York. Insiders know the cheap way to cruise the harbor is on the free Staten Island ferry. You can take it on New Year's Eve, and you'll see fireworks in Brooklyn, in Manhattan, New Jersey, and spectacular waterfront views.
Yeah.
That
Now, on
sounds
the
fun.
Telestrator, we got the Midnight Run there, which is
Ooh.
a tradition there. If you can't afford $60 to run with the New York Road Runners, you can go to Central Park Conservatory and you can support them as a volunteer. So you can help them out. You don't
And you
need
get to
go
run. Very nice.
Or
And
you
how-
don't even have to run. You can just help them out.
There's also a way to start. A lot of people like to use the New Year as a way to kind of set the tone for the year. Maybe you want to have a peaceful beginning.
Yep.
And many folks are craving peace. I know I do. And so there's a concert for peace on New Year's Eve. You can bask in candlelight in one of New York's great cathedrals while listening to Judy Collins and Jason Robert Brown. The show starts at 7 o'clock. Seating is first come, first served. And that's going to be in a very nice way to start the new year. How about a fashion-forward start? If you're in New
Yeah.
York, that might be something you like doing.
Yeah, it's the Fashion Avenue News magazine. They have their 4th annual free party. You do need a ticket to get this in.
Better be dressed to the nines.
Oh, yeah, probably so.
Men in tuxes go to the front of the line. Anybody in jeans goes home.
So
Yeah.
order ahead.
Or you might want to get into reggae. You know,
Yeah.
everything goes
Yeah,
in New
Mom.
York. There could be a nice Kiss Me at Midnight party. The party features super DJ John Quick, and there'll be complimentary champagne toast. But
No.
you might like a bike and skate party.
Yeah, this is at the Williamsburg Bridge or at Manhattan's Washington Square Park Arch. The ride ends at the Belvedere Castle at 11:45, so you got plenty of time to get yourself together for the ball
Perhaps you'd
drop.
like to have a cultured start and listen to some great work of Mendelssohn, Bach, and Weider on St. Bartholomew's Grand Skinner Pipe Organ, one of the city's greatest musical treasures. That could be he'll be playing, this gentleman, William K. Trafka, will be performing his own transcription of Fanfare for the Common Man. Very interesting.
Another thing, if you're a yoga practitioner, this is a great way to do that. And they
Start the year with some
between
asana and
8
breath
and
work.
9, yeah. This is, it doesn't say where it is, does it?
3 hours of silent reflection. That's kind of a nice way
You
to
just
do
have
it.
to find your way there, folks, because it doesn't say where it is. Okay, let's go from there to Philadelphia, which is the city of brotherly love. And it's easy to celebrate New Year's Eve without breaking the bank because the fireworks there are for free. And they have an early performance for kids, plus the traditional midnight celebration. And during the day, you can you can do your own countdown as you check out all the museums, the historical sites downtown. There's a lot of things to see in Philadelphia. Plus, the food is great there, too.
Yeah, and they've got the Christmas light show at Macy's City Center. That'll be the final day. That's been going on since 1956, featuring over 100,000 LED lights, and really cool thing to see.
Yeah, and at Franklin Square, which is a very family-friendly thing, so they have the kids' New Year's Eve countdown starting from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. And my parents did this. When we were young, my parents would have the celebration with us about 7 or 8 o'clock. What they did, starting about early morning, they started about 15-minute increments moving the clock ahead. Of course, in those days, we had one clock. It was a lot easier to do. Today, you'd have to clean everything. But by the time 7 o'clock rolled around, it was like 11 o'clock in our house. And then we have the big celebrations. And then one year, I woke up. There was a lot of noise going on. I go downstairs looking, and my parents are having this big celebration, New Year's Eve. I'm going, I thought we celebrated this already. Oh, they had one for us and one for...
Oh, isn't that cool?
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah,
so you guys actually thought it was truly...
Oh, yeah, until that one day I came downstairs. I remember what age I was.
So that way they could let you have it, and then you went to bed early.
And then they'd have their fun.
And then have their fun.
Yeah.
Oh, how cute is that? That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yes, there's lots to do in Philadelphia. And how about San Francisco on the West Coast? You know, it's become notorious for welcoming visitors with deep pockets and with some of the most expensive real estate in the country. Its restaurant, bars, and other activities have followed suit. Kind of a pricey place, but you can find things to do. You could walk the Golden Gate Bridge. On most days throughout the year, the Golden Gate Bridge promenade is packed almost exclusively with fanny pack-clad tourists. But on New Year's Eve, the iconic bridge is full with wayfarers and locals alike. So you can start on it and walk the 1.7-mile stretch across the gate to Marin County, and you'd probably enjoy seeing some beautiful lights.
You ever walked that bridge?
I've never walked it. I've driven across it, but I've never walked it.
We walked it a couple times.
Nice.
It's very nice. A lot of things to do in San Francisco, though. The bonfire at the Ocean Beach is one of the real good ones. Bring your own wood to this sprawling seaside stretch where surfers and out sunset residents, they cozy up They bring their own little chairs and blankets
Oh,
and
that
just sit
sounds
out
like a
there.
nice way to do that. Yeah. You might want to stroll in the Mission District. Its lively neighborhood is always buzzing, and people really enjoy that. Or picnic on the bay. There's also going to be a pre-party at Dolores Park. And there's even a Buddhist-style celebration at the Asian Art Museum. So sounds like all of these cities have a lot of fun, and we've got Shanghai. We haven't talked about what's going on in that part of the world. We'll be curious at the holiday season this year after last year's public fireworks show and countdown on the city's historic Boone Promenade was marred by a deadly stampede. Yeah, remember that?
I don't, no.
This year, visitors and locals should stay updated on information regarding large-scale public events as new crowd control measures will likely take place.
Things about Shanghai is a lot of street food is going on there, so that's kind of fun to hang out and try some of the different kind of things that we normally wouldn't be eating.
Well, when we get back, we'll talk about some cities that finish up with Toronto, and then we can wrap it up with a couple of ideas to send you plan for your New Year. So stay with us.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
The
right.
celebration is coming.
So, we were covering ways around the world that you can celebrate the new year. But, guys, there are also 7 things to do on New Year's Eve besides drinking that might actually be even more fun. Let's go over some of those ideas. Maybe
Well, the
these
first
might
one
appeal to you.
is host a board game tournament. People have mixed feeling about board games. We all know that 20 minutes into a game of Monopoly, everybody is laser focused. So
On
these
how to
things will be
steal the
fun.
railroads.
Yeah, exactly. So, I always hesitate to start board games, but they're right. Once you're in it, it
Yeah,
seems
you
to
always
be
think
fun.
you don't want to play, but
Right.
once you get
Once
there,
you get
love
going,
it.
you start rolling that dice, and it's all over.
And I think it is actually a great way to kind of connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, come up with fun, complex mocktail recipes. Instead of having cocktails, come up with healthy juices. I was at a party one time, and we were coming up with different green juices flavored with lemon and this or that, and that could be a lot of fun. And
Not as much fun as if you put a little alcohol in it, though.
Yeah. It could.
Number 3 is sleep, because this is the time you can
Because
really
you can.
sleep. Yeah, just sleep in when
You're
you
an
want
adult,
to.
which means you get to make all of your own decisions. As long as you're not hurting anyone in the process, you don't have to feel bad about it. Just go to sleep if you want to. Stay in your pajamas. Have a pajama
Well,
party.
staying in pajamas definitely all day, that's really a good thing to do. I always have trouble sleeping in for some reason. I mean, that's 5 o'clock. I might sleep into 6 o'clock some days.
I
but-
think that's good. Well, that's what, like circadian rhythm is really important, and we're supposed to rise with the sun, but at the same time, we're supposed to really gear down after the sun.
It's no fun when you want to sleep in, though, and you're way awake, and you can sit laying there
Right.
just doing nothing, and you think of things, and then you
But
gotta
I
get up.
like this one. Go camping. How about camping? If you're not into this sort of thing, camping is an awesome way to celebrate a new year with good friends and family, and you can really get focused. I think the idea of camping is you're connected to nature, but you're also going to be able to have campfire conversation, and I think that's really great. It might be a healthy alternative to going out. Plan a spa-themed evening. Oh, that sounds fun for a lot of girls.
Yeah.
Do facials, do masks, give manicures, pedicures. That could be really nice.
And it might be fun if you're the only guy.
Yeah, just kind of hang out and pamper each other. You could make a late-night dinner reservation if you don't feel like getting
Better think
wasted.
ahead on that one, though.
Yeah, you better plan ahead. But this way you're not drinking and partying. You might just decide to have a leisurely long dinner, maybe a couple courses.
And instead of going to a party, you might think about hosting one, which means you're home, and it's a lot safer that way.
Yeah,
Because,
you won't have time to drink even if you want to because you're so busy hosting it. But it's really it's a really great way, to kind of hunker in. Maybe it's not such a safe thing to be out on the roads. Of course, utilize safe travel things. Thank goodness for Uber and that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Be safe wherever you are, and remember to hydrate. Take some nice, add some healthy salts to your water, some minerals. That has the 84 minerals, so you can get rehydrated and perhaps feel better the next day.
And it's a good idea just to think about what happened in the last year or so, and then think about what you want to do in the next year. I mean,
Set
that's
your
what is-
intentions
yeah.
for the new year. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm kind of interested. I'm going to be in Mexico, and I'm just going to really try and be chill. And my goal is to see the sunrise every morning, see the sunset. And, people might say, well, you live in Florida. Why are you going there? Because, we take our beach
Just
for
a little
granted.
different, yeah.
Yeah, we live here, and you're close to home, so you can say, I really should be doing this, or I should be doing that, or I need to work on this. But if I'm there, I don't have all those things to work on.
And we have a special thing going on next year, too. Besides our little vacation, we're going to Michigan again in September because I have a granddaughter, Sydney, who's going to get married in Michigan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're looking to plan
Hard
that.
to believe you have a granddaughter getting married.
It's amazing.
That's right, but you're doing something right. You're staying healthy and enjoying life. And
I think that's what it's all about, folks. Find your way to stay healthy your way, and that's good for the next
well,
year.
it's great to find time to say thank you and have God grace and gratitude. And all I can say is we're grateful for those of you that tune in, and we're looking forward to seeing you in the new year. So be safe, and we'll see you next year.
Bye-bye.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.